Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everybody's favorite segment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week, baby. We aren't farting around. We're getting right into things. We ain't fighting around either. Don't fight it. Just accept it, Dave. It's what's happening.
This just in, we have confirmed that Dave Meltzer fears PWT and flutes.
So Dave Meltzer had this to say. You know, Brian, my job is to report accurate info, and I've studied both the business and history, and I've studied both the business and history more than a few on a worldwide basis, and have learned a ton from those who devoted their lives studying such things. He was a giant draw, speaking about Hulk, among the biggest in history. The fact that other people were also giant stars is not a knock on Hogan, but the denial of all those people is incorrect history. Getting mad at the name, it's not people getting mad, Dave. You're getting mad that people aren't sucking your balls the way you suck Tony Khan's balls. But the denial, getting mad at the name Jim Londos, Ricky Dozan, Inoki, George, or Santo is weird. If I was in my teens or 20s or even 50s, I'd read this stuff and go, man, I need to learn about Londos instead of getting irrationally upset that he existed. They're not irrationally upset. See, Dave, you lack so much self-awareness that you're not even able to like pick up on people's vibes correctly. They're not mad. They're just saying Hogan was bigger than that in the modern time. That's all anyone's saying. And if you studied history, you would know that you don't need to cry over WrestleMania 3 still, which is what you're trying to do. You just diminish anything WWE. And again, I had some people quote tweet this, some names out there, dog, and some wrestlers, some people like this. If that's Dave's job, then he admittedly sucks balls at his job. Should probably pack it up and find something else, period. Like, if your job is to report accurate info, then you suck, admittedly. Like, admittedly. We've pointed out innumerable times where you've not done that specific thing. So speaking of specific thing, Meltzer could point out Ospreay's nutsack out of a lineup, and he's glazing Ospreay so much that he's dripping from the mouth, according to heel Uzi. Let's hear what Ospreay has to say about, or pardon me, Dave has to say about Ospreay, or what Ospreay told Dave to say about Ospreay, and how much they've bumped and grinded, bro.
The injury concerned me. The idea that he's really trying to get back concerned me. Will's injuries are, that's serious stuff. Neck problems at 31.
Yeah, so your style's stupid. The way he wrestles is stupid. He took Tony's money because he's super beat up and is going to end up retiring when he's 35 or end up in a wheelchair with CT or something. Tony's going to wrestle him anyways. And he ran away from doing pro wrestling at the highest level and not beating his body up as much, and really proving, maybe at the start he'd have to go crazy making dates, but really prove to the world what he's about. And he took all the money because he knew he couldn't do this for that much longer. You can't. Look at Omega as well, the way he's falling apart. Meanwhile, we're looking at Roman and we're like, well, he could wrestle till he's 60, realistically. He's taking such good care of his body, and he's never been injured that bad. And it's the point that Miz made to Brian. Like, you can sit there and say you love wrestling, then quit, go do the indies. But instead you like this cushy money job. And now that Tony Khan offers the cushy money job, Ospreay's like, oh, I love wrestling, bruv. And again, I'm not trying to diminish him, and I hope he does get better. This is serious stuff. But it just goes to show you, like, the point of wrestling is we're not really hurting each other, brother, let alone hurting ourselves,
It's supposed to be a marathon, not a sprint. He is so talented that, he can modify and he'll still be better than almost anyone. You really
That's not true, Dave. That's not true. He doesn't sell better than anyone. He could modify and still be better than anyone. No, maybe he could, but people want to see Ospreay do the crazy shit. He worked himself into a shoot, brother. It's supposed to be a marathon, not a sprint. So then you just admitted your fucking, what you think is the best type of wrestling isn't the best type of wrestling. It's like demolition derby shit, like you like Jackass Dave is what you're admitting, because if what the objective is to not get hurt and last as long as you can. And these dudes are all in their 30s going, oh, my neck, my head, my hip. What the fuck, man?
Able to go, I I think at least till your 40s in this game. You want to have a long career, but I don't want it to be like, like Dynamite Kid, when he came back, and he was, got worse and worse and worse. When Dynamite Kid was Will's age, he was pretty done. Will's not done, but, and he was in a wheelchair. I don't want that future. I don't want to be that
And stop giving his fucking stupid matches all these stars and encouraging him to do this style. Or else you're lying and you don't actually care about him and you just want to watch move highlights online, but you won't admit that. Keep the same energy then.
Fan who's only out for myself.
Rate a match like Hogan versus The Rock. Oh, if I'm just a fan who's only out for myself, listen.
Want to be that callous fan who's only out for myself. And
no, you are. This is why, Dave. And I just explained it because you reward this type of shit instead of rewarding the marathon runners, Rock and Hogan, who don't have to do anything. You say, oh, it's about how the crowd moves. No, it's not. It's about flips and breaking your neck and doing gory death spot shit. And we can prove that based off what you give a lot of stars to.
Goes, I don't care what he does. I just want to see a Will Ospreay match.
That is what it is.
In London, and it's like I can't be that guy. Get him to where he's 40 and he does maybe 7 matches.
So he should do a top guy slowed down top guy speed or work way less like a part-timer. And you've criticized Roman Reigns in this WWE style, but now you're literally saying he should do part-timer WWE style because you're a fucking liar. You're a dishonest pig.
Liar! Liar! Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
So you admit you were wrong. Huh, Dave? Are you going to go back and study the history and admit you were wrong? Huh? Dave, are you going to go back and say you were wrong then? So he should be working a WWE style pace is what you're saying he should be doing.
10 matches a year. And when the year's over, we go like, man, those 7 and 10 matches are as good as anybody in the business. I guess that's what I hope for.
You'll just lie and say that regardless. You'll just lie and say it's the best match regardless. So Meltzer said what said, if you're looking for a podcast career retrospective on Hulk Hogan to listen to, Cornette and Last did 1 hour, 52 minutes on the experience versus Meltzer and GG on Observer doing 40 minutes on Hogan. Then 37 minutes on WWE Netflix numbers. Ospreay's injury. Dave, your podcast was lazy booking. Cornette did a 2 hours on Hogan. Meltzer put this tweet out. We read it on Saturday show. After the work I did in the last 24 hours, I can so confidently know I'd be doing the exact same thing in another sport or the political world and been every bit as successful. Meanwhile, he did just as much time as he did on Hogan. He did on Ospreay's injury and WWE's Netflix numbers.
The injury concerned me. The idea that
Dave is a D1 Glazer. Mark Madden, says Meltzer lost his fastball decades ago.
Really trying to get
true, man. So the WSI network had this to say: for just $14.99, Wrestling Observer Radio is now more unlistenable than ever. Marvel at Dave's internet cutting out midway through recording, so the rest of the show is done over the phone. Thrill as several minute-long stretches of dead air are not edited out. Slap your knee at Meltzer refusing to mute his phone, so you all hear our text messages dinging alerts every 15 seconds. Howl at pedantic Uncle Dave talk over and argue with Brian Alvarez for no discernible reason. All this plus an hour of Meltzer stating opinion as fact for nearly 200 per year. It's fucking crazy, chat. It's insane. So Meltzer said what said, yes, you too can become inherently smarter to the business by listening to Dave recap incredible moves from Mascara Dorada versus Neon, as Dave's internet cuts out multiple times per show. And his phone is incessantly beeping with notifications as he records for the low price of $14.99. How funny is this? Let's listen.
So this week it was the finals of the end of day plot with Neon and
I study the business. I'm the best. I can confidently say I'm the best in the world at what I do. I'm CM Punk, Brian. Poor people don't like the Observer.
Poor people don't like AEW.
Let's listen to his quality.
And Mascara Dorada. And, I knew that it was like, these two are either going to have this incredible match or they're going to go out there and do these incredible moves and it won't click. And I didn't expect that to happen. And boy, was this an incredible match.
So he goes, it'll either be this or this, but I didn't expect that to happen. But it was an incredible match between Neon and Mascara Dorada.
I mean, and I give so much credit to Mascara Dorada, because it was like, number one, Neon beat him. So it's like this match was all about Mascara Dorada is already, pretty much, I would say, the number 2 star behind Mystico on the Technico side. And, he's 24 years old.
Like, what does he mean? He leaves that so open-ended. Like, for that federation, for CMLL, he's number 2 as a star on the technical side. So technically speaking, he's the number 2 star in CMLL, is what you're trying to say, behind Mystico. Like, why can't you just say that normally?
So he's the young star, and they put him, and they decided in this big match that the idea was to make Neon, and he beat him clean in the middle with a, kind of like a 450 senton deal type thing after he did the double springboard moonsault to the floor, which was unbelievable.
Oh, it was unbelievable, Dave. Was it like when Ricochet did that on Dynamite, or like, what are you talking about here?
Unbelievable setup. They're both on the top rope. I mean, it's like that move, that double springboard thing, like it works in trios because you're distracted and everything. And then all of a sudden he's running down the ramp and there he is and the guy's on the floor, but there's so much going on and you don't see it being set. I mean, you do see it sort of being set up, but it's much more difficult in a singles. So what they did, they were both on the top ropes and essentially they lost their balance and Mascara Dorada flies off to the spot that you are to catch that move, and Neon flies backwards to the ramp in the exact same spot that you take off. But the way it was done, it's like it was so natural and perfect, because it's like I knew they were going to do that.
What the fuck is he talking about? It was so the way that he sprung to the top rope, Brian. And so, Dave, you like moves. Like, do you hear the way that you come to PWT, you listen to Phil Marks talk, and what am I talking about, chat? I'm talking about like the story and like what we take out of it and what the future holds and what this could mean. Things like that, man. He's just the way he got to that top rope, then did the flip, Brian. It's unlike any other Spanish fly I've ever seen.
Spot that you take off. But the way it was done, it's like it was so natural and perfect. Because it's like I knew they were going to do that move, and it's like, how do you set that up in a singles match with the other guy not looking like a goof, just standing there for 15 seconds? And it's like what you do is you knock him down, and then and how's the other guy get over there? And he did. It was so good. That match, everybody's been raving about that match.
Everybody's been raving. Everybody's been raving about that match. That move, he made that fucking cheesy move look really good. He wasn't standing around for 15 seconds. He stood around for 5 seconds while the dude leapt up to do a move that I've seen fucking Christian Blake do or whatever on Dynamite. That fucking Commander does on Collision every week. He made it look so real and good, and everyone was raving about this match.
Everybody's been raving about that match. That match was, just so good, so good. And then they had Mystico and Hechicero.
What the fuck, man? Dave has lost the plot. He just likes moves. He won't admit it. This guy says people do say the stupidest things. Some even pay $14.99 for it. Meltzer says they inherently become the smartest fans about the business. Just if you pay your $14.99, Dave believes that you will inherently become the smartest fans about the business. And the shit he's saying, you're smarter than other people about this business that he literally doesn't understand whatsoever. If you fucking sign up for his shit, that's what he thinks. He thinks that he's actually smart. He thinks you're all dumb. He thinks anyone who disagrees with him is dumb, which is dismissive, which is sociopathic. We can break that down on psychological levels if you want, right? He thinks that he's the all-seeing eye. He claimed, he's doubled down, tripled down, that his star ratings are in fact objective and not subjective, his opinion stars. And he's been getting called on his shit for so long that he is clearly spiraling like this is the greatest spiral ever. We've been seeing it happen for a while. And now we've gone past like unhinged Dave. He's now like in his perfect cell cocky form, where he's just now being condescending, lives in such a bubble where everyone's blocked out. He's responding to me through other people in some of his tweets. And so keep tweeting shit out there about what I'm saying about the show. We're going to get to the point, I think, by 2026 where he responds directly to like a screen grab of PWT or one of my roasts of him, or he'll unblock me, quote tweet me, block me again. We're not far off from that happening. And Dave, inherently, you are the dumbest motherfucker I've ever come across in the IWC. And you also are the most condescending and schmarmy, and you have the worst opinion about what wrestling is and should be. And because of people, and the wrestlers included, catering to you and your style, the wrestling business has taken bigger L's than anybody else. And like, if Jim Cornette ran into a billionaire who invested billions into his idea of what wrestling is, it wouldn't have done as much embarrassing damage as AEW's done the last few years. Most people, you could give fucking Conrad Thompson a Fed and it wouldn't be as indie markish, and you wouldn't shill for it as hard. And that's the problem. You're just absolutely invested emotionally, I think, is what it is. And that's why Dave has entered his like super cocky villain arc, right? And the villain always gets ultra cocky before they get desperate and ultimately defeated, right? They get super cocky, and that's what's happening with Dave, right? He was worried. He's like, oh, that dastardly Phil Marks, that dastardly Batman messing up my plans. And then you get super cocky. Well, I'll just blow up the hospital that his wife's in. Ha ha ha. And then you fucking get desperate when the heroes come in and kick your ass. So we're in that part of Dave's ultra villain arc as he transforms into Ultron here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was... I'm sorry, I'm fucking stupid. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But I love roasting you, Dave Meltzer, and that's why it'll never stop. This has been Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.